Queen Amina and Prince Deo's legendary love story unfolds in The Forgotten Bride. This heartwarming tale follows the brave young Amina, whose beautiful voice and undying hope lead her on an epic adventure to reunite with her beloved Prince Deo. Despite deception and challenges, their story of true love triumphs, setting the stage for their future as rulers. But the adventure doesn't end at the wedding. Witness the royal family face new challenges in The Challenge of the Northern Wind. The Forgotten Bride. In a colorful village called Azuri, there was a young girl named Amina. Amina was known throughout the village for her kindness and her beautiful singing voice. Every evening, as the sun set, her songs would drift through the village, bringing smiles to everyone's faces. One day, the prince of the land, Prince Deo, heard Amina's singing as he rode through Azuri. Enchanted by her voice, he followed the melody to see Amina singing by the river. Prince Deo immediately fell in love with her grace and voice, and soon, they became friends. Prince Deo visited Amina every day, and they would talk for hours. Amina would sing, and Deo would tell her stories of his adventures around the world. Their friendship grew stronger, and one day, Deo asked Amina to marry him. Overjoyed, Amina agreed, and they planned to have a grand wedding in the village. As the wedding day approached, Prince Deo had to return to his palace to prepare for the ceremony. He promised Amina he would come back to Azuri with a grand procession for their wedding. Amina was thrilled and began preparing for the big day, sewing her dress and practicing her songs. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Amina waited and waited, but Prince Deo did not return. The villagers started to worry and whispered among themselves about the forgotten bride. Amina, heartbroken but still hopeful, continued to sing by the river every evening, believing that Deo would hear her voice and remember his promise. Meanwhile, Prince Deo had been tricked by a wicked vizier in his court who wanted the prince to marry his niece instead. The vizier had convinced Deo that Amina had forgotten him and had married someone else in the village. Heartbroken, Deo agreed to marry the vizier's niece, thinking he had lost his true love. Back in Azuri, Amina decided to take matters into her own hands. With her little dog, Baiko, she set out on a journey to the prince's palace. The journey was long and filled with challenges. Amina and Baiko crossed lush forests, climbed high mountains, then crossed wide rivers. Each night, Amina would sing her song, hoping that the wind would carry her voice to Deo. Finally, after many days of travel, Amina reached the palace. Just as she arrived, the prince's wedding procession was about to begin. Hiding behind a tall oak tree, she saw Prince Deo looking sad and distracted. Gathering her courage, Amina began to sing her song as loudly as she could. Suddenly, the prince stopped. The familiar melody pierced through the lies he had been told, and he realized it was Amina's voice. He ran towards the voice and found Amina standing there, as beautiful as the day he had left. Overjoyed, Deo dismissed the wicked vizier and embraced Amina. The real wedding took place not long after, back in Azuri, surrounded by all who loved them. Prince Deo learned never to doubt the power of true love and the loyalty of a kind heart, and Amina learned that her voice was strong enough to overcome any obstacle. From that day on, they ruled the land together, and Amina's songs of love and courage were sung in every corner of the kingdom. As Prince Deo and Amina began to prepare for their grand wedding, the entire village of Azuri buzzed with excitement. Everyone lent a hand, from decorating the village square with bright, colorful ribbons and flowers to preparing a feast that would include all of Azuri's favorite dishes. Amina decided that she would sing a special song at their wedding, a song of love and joy that would forever remind them of their journey and the obstacles they had overcome. She practiced every day by the river, her voice flowing with the water, strong and clear. Meanwhile, Prince Deo was busy making sure that the wicked vizier could no longer cause any harm. He appointed new, kind-hearted advisors and made plans to rule his kingdom with fairness and a deep respect for all his subjects. He often thought about how easily he had been deceived and resolved to be a wiser and more attentive ruler. The day before the wedding, travelers from all over the kingdom arrived in Azuri. They had heard of the prince's return and Amina's remarkable journey, and they came to witness the union of the couple who had shown such loyalty and bravery. That night, Amina had a dream. In her dream, the river beside which she had sung so many times rose and spoke to her. The river, a wise old spirit, told her that her journey was not only about finding her prince but also about discovering her own strength and voice. The river gifted her a small, shimmering stone, saying it was a token of her courage and would always protect her and her new family. When Amina woke up, she felt a sense of peace. She knew no matter what challenges she and Deo might face in the future, they could overcome them together. She tucked the stone into her dress, close to her heart. The wedding day dawned bright and clear. The village square was a riot of colors, with flowers everywhere and fabrics of every hue fluttering in the gentle breeze. Music filled the air, a joyful noise that made everyone smile and dance. Prince Deo looked dashing in his royal attire, and when he saw Amina walking towards him, her dress catching the sunlight and her voice rising in song, his heart swelled with love and pride. They exchanged vows beside the river, where their love had fast blossomed, and the whole village cheered. The feast that followed was magnificent. There were dishes of pounded yam and egusi soup, jollof rice, fried plantains, and much more. Amina sang her new song, and everyone joined in, their voices echoing through the village and beyond, carrying messages of joy and community. As the evening grew darker, the newlyweds danced under the stars, the shimmering stone from Amina's dream glowing softly in her dress. They talked about their future, about the kind and just kingdom they would build, and the children they hoped to have. Years passed, and Prince Deo and Queen Amina ruled wisely and well. They were blessed with 3 children, each possessing a love for music and a kind spirit. They never forgot the lessons they had learned about love, truth, and perseverance. And so, the story of the forgotten bride became a legend, not just in Azuri, but all over the kingdom. It was a tale told to remind everyone that sometimes, the journey you take to find your heart's desire shows you that what you were looking for was inside you all along. Please share and subscribe to get fast notification when we upload the remaining part.